how do you feel about the NBA's load management policy?
I think load management is getting blown out of proportion. I really do, because it only pertains to Kawhi. This is not an NBA problem. This is a Kawhi Leonard problem for a guy who's already been in the league. He's been doing it for a long time. Popovich has been doing it. He did it with Toronto last year. I didn't hear Toronto Raptor fans complain when they won the World Championship, and it's looking to be the same thing with Clippers today. And also, I bring back into this, how do we measure success? When we talk about who the greatest of all times are, we talk about how many championships have you won? That's where we go. We don't talk about how many regular season titles or how many regular season awards do you have. That's not a big thing. So I understand where fans get to this point where they say, I pay my money, I want to see you play. But if you're really a fan of a team, you're not as worried about a game on a back-to-back night where your best player, a guy who's been in the league for a while, misses a game. You're more focused on how do we win a championship.
But it's not just about the fans on your team. And I understand this. I'm a player guy normally, and I understand why they're doing this, and it is the best interest of the players on this team. It's the best interest of their fan, best interest of the organization. But the NBA in all sports, like, we forget that it is an entertainment product first. Like, there are interests and concerns, like, your main motivation is to win championship. But the other motivation is to make money. And this impacts the way that you make money. If you are not showing up for nationally televised games, if you aren't consistently showing up for games, for non-nationally televised games, the value of your product goes down. Your value of your product goes down, that impacts basketball-related revenue, which impacts the money that are going to the other guys. So I could care less, frankly, about the fans, other than the fact that they are not just fans, they are customers. And they deserve the product that they're going to buy.
But Dominique, we're talking about a specific player that is not necessarily the most entertaining player in the NBA. What did we talk about before? He's the quote, like, we made a joke about it. Fun guy, Kawhi Leonard, right? But as you mentioned, Jay, he's been doing load management for a grand portion of his career. Like, he's only played more than 70 games, 2 out of the last 8 seasons. He's been doing it in San Antonio. When he was finals MVP in San Antonio, how many games did he play in the regular season? He played 66 games.
So
he's been doing this. He did it in Toronto and won a championship by doing it. But about a year ago, I got to do the mic. About a year ago, we made him a villain for how he handled his situation leaving San Antonio. Now he's the hero. He has all the attention. People think he's the most dominant player. Yes, we want to see him. But the Clippers, they knew what they were signing up for when they got Kawhi Leonard.
And I don't think that Clippers fans are bothered by this. And I think that the argument for load management is not necessarily that it'll help you win a championship, because what I'm talking about is not winning a championship. It's creating a great entertainment product that will continue to make money. But the argument for load management is that you extend someone's career and he can continue to play going forward. But no matter how boring you think Kawhi is, he's a name that casual fans know and a name that people will tune in to watch. If Kawhi Leonard is not playing, there's a reason that people will tune out, which is it matters when we're talking about selling this product.
You know where else that this load management will hurt Kawhi as well? It hurts in the end season voting, right? When you're deciding, does he make a first team or a second team? I don't know who here votes, but I know when I voted and I'm close between people and I see Kawhi only played 50 or 60 games, I'm kind of like, well, that edges this guy in. So now, what does that say about the regular season, though? Does it matter?
First, you big-timed us by saying that you got to vote. You think you're better than us.
I didn't know who had a vote at the table.
Second of all, excuse me, got votes. That's two as opposed to one. Watch out. We're so special, we got votes. But second of all, I don't think Kawhi cares.
And that's the question. That's the question.
I was going to say 3 things. I don't think he does care. Right. Nobody knows what Kawhi cares about other than winning the championship. Okay, fair point. Number 2, the NBA isn't going to be losing on revenue.
Exactly.
It's guaranteed money.
No, but they have to sell it again. They're going to sell it again, and the price is higher.
Dominique, Dominique, you're telling me you're talking about one player in the league.
Thank you.
We're not talking about you guys are being dissing. You guys are being dissing.
Who else is load management
It's
pertaining to?
one player that has made a brand by signing with New Balance and being the not most entertaining guy in the league.
Who else does load management pertain to?
You guys are being disingenuous when you say we're using Kawhi as a peg here, not because he's the only or because he's the one right now. Not because he's the only one. He may be the only one so far this season, but through the past several years, we've talked about load management as a thing that happens in this league. And whether you want to accept it.
LeBron James.
I mean,
LeBron James.
Who's in year 7?
That's fine. That's fine. AD set out, well, I guess that wasn't load management, but he missed a bunch of games. But the fact of the matter is, we know that load management works, and it's a thing that happens. So I'm not arguing against it as an effective thing. I'm just saying that all benefits have a cost. And you can pretend if you want to that does not impact the value. I guarantee guarantee you, as someone who's negotiated CBAs and sat in these rooms, I guarantee you when you're negotiating with these TV partners and you're saying, I want X billions of dollars, they're going to discount the fact that some of these games, your best players are not going to show the hell up.
I'm currently in a CBA negotiation with the NBA,
Facts.
so I
Yeah,
understand
we should speak
how it
about
works
that
on
too. That's
television.
another conversation.
This is one player, and I think that when you get into these situations, they understand that one player moves the needle, but that has just happened with Kawhi Leonard. And the thing is, he's already had the conversations. The Clippers front office has had the conversations with the NBA to manage this. They're not surprised by this. They accept it. Now, if it becomes a trend, then it's an issue, right?
Yes.
With other players. But it's only Kawhi, and the only reason we care about Kawhi is because he forced us to care about winning a championship.
I think Kawhi is fine. I'm not arguing that
That's
Kawhi should have played. Like, Kawhi had a mysterious quad injury that none of us have really figured out. He had knee injuries. Like, I understand that. But the fact of the matter is the perception is out there. The perception is out there that all your stars aren't going to play on nationally televised games. And that matters because the competition for people's attention and where you can put ad space is aggressive.
But one thing you're
that's going to
discounting
hurt.
is that perception is also reality when it comes to injuries.
I don't think the NBA is going to lose revenue on ad sales when it comes to this. You know why? What's the last bastion that we have right now on linear TV? Live sports.
But I think that's...
No, just let me finish for a second.
Go ahead.
I think when you have Amazon, when you have Apple, when you have Netflix, when you have all these other entities that are going to start bidding for these services of live sports, I think the value is only going to go up. And my second point is that when we talk about load management as it pertains to Kawhi Leonard or LeBron James, we're also talking about pre-existing injuries.
Exactly.
We're also talking about guys who have been in the league for 10 plus years. So that's going to be somewhat of an issue if you're trying to get your team to the finish line.
First, you guys keep bringing up... I'm sorry, go
play
ahead.
devil's advocate here, Jay, to your point, is it possible, too, though, that especially when you've been playing a while, anyone can kind of have a nagging injury that the team can play up as a load management issue?
Fair point, right? So I would say this. Then the NBA needs to find a way to redo their CBA and make it, hey, players have to play. If you play, that's guaranteed money. If you do not play, we're not guaranteed to pay you.
Oh, don't mess with that
play
money.
per game?
So, I mean, if you really want to fix the crux of the problem, then all of a sudden you're being paid upon, if you play 55 games, your salary is conducive based upon how many games you played that year.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.